Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of the ADK Voice podcast, the Memorial Day special.
This week we're going to go over things like have our first very special guest who's near and dear to all of our hearts. We're going to go around the room, swing over to Craig's Corner for a very special edition this week. We're going to talk to our guest for quite a while with a number of topics. Tim has a nice ADK fact for us, my report. Tim's going to continue with his spooky saga. We're going to play some games, get some tips, and then we're going to end it. So I'd like to speak on behalf of all of the three of the hosts on the show, equal hosts, and welcome our first guest on the podcast, Biagio Butcherfero. B, how you doing today?
Doing great. How you doing, Pierre?
We're doing good. All right, so let's go around the room. Let's start with Tim.
Hey, guys. It's one of your hosts, Tim Zukis from the ADK Voice podcast. I like Oreos. They are a trigger food for me. On to Craig.
Okay, I'm Craig, and I was on a football team.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm Pierre. I'm one of the hosts, and this week is my birthday week. So
Hey.
let's get ready to partay. And over to B.
What's going on, guys? So I'm Biage, or Biage, people call me that. I graduated college yesterday. So, yeah, I guess I'm a big shot now.
He's better than all of us.
Yeah, better, you know.
A 4-year college.
Oh, yeah,
Let me just
college.
add that.
Yeah, I mean, freaking all the debt that's coming on, but
Super,
we're ready to take it.
super smart, brainiac,
Yeah.
nerd,
My brain's
board powder.
coming outside.
Boy, yeah, very,
recording
very
booth
bored
right
powder. So let's get things rolling. Let's send it over to Craig's Corner and hear what he's got.
Alrighty, guys. So, interesting fact about the foundation of this country. Originally, Benjamin Franklin proposed the instead of it being a bald eagle, it was going to be a turkey. He thought a turkey would be a better representation
Now,
of the United States than
was that because he was bald and he didn't want a bald eagle?
you know what? Soft confirm.
Craig, I hate mangoes.
But,
But
yeah, Craig, I heard about that, too.
yeah,
Do you care that you hate mangoes?
turkeys are by far one of the dumbest birds ever.
Savages, absolutely savages.
Descendants of velociraptors with none of the spunk.
Ever see a turkey vulture? Those things are
I have.
disgusting.
They are
They're-
something.
ugh.
What else do we got over there, Craig?
Yeah, what you got for us, Craigie?
I don't nothing really.
Nothing really.
That
That was it.
Oh,
That's
oh,
it.
nice.
You know, short and
sweet.
sweet,
I
to
like
the
it.
point.
I like it. I like it.
Mine's really short this week too, so I guess we're gonna kick it over to B. We're gonna talk to Biage for a while. Let's start with tell us a little about yourself, B. What you do now, what you've done in the past. You know, just bring us into the life of a butcher pharaoh.
Oh, that's
What is it
a big task. So as of right now, we'll go now and then we'll go in the past.
All right.
So right now, I'm in the Navy, United States Navy.
You're my
Best
favorite
Navy in the
seaman.
world. Yeah, favorite seaman right here. Right now I'm on a little bit of a leave. I have a couple more weeks until I go. Excuse me, until I go to. That's all I really can say about that. But I'm an ensign 01, a butter bar. As for all our military people know, it's being a butter bar is great because people have to salute you, and you
That's
know nothing. I know very little about the military, but I know some of the traditions so far. But
I've also heard it called a butter stick.
yeah, butter stick. Yeah, they call it a butter bar, a butter stick because we're malleable. Anything you see gold is malleable. Besides being gold enlisted, those guys like the Chiefs, they have gold anchors. Their Chiefs know what they're doing. But for all those people that are enlisted, they know a lot more They know a lot more about the military than I do. But when I finally get to my station, I'll be looking towards the senior enlisted to help me out. So I don't know that much. I'm just as I call a boot ensign. So I've known all these guys on this podcast for, I don't know, 20 years. I'm 22 years old, probably since I was a kid.
We started in Little Patriots. I know.
Oh, yeah.
And then we all played football together at
You were
one
in my
point.
sister's kindergarten class.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was always a good time. Yeah, played football, played in college, played in high school, played the best times. Was also in drama. I was
Oh,
not an
yeah.
actor. Oh, yeah. I was with Tim.
Now, what was the name of the ship?
Name of the ship? Oh, the USS Trisha.
Trisha.
The-
All right,
everything before I know who they're gonna get in a fight. It's the USS Trisha. That is the final name.
Well, the boat's gone, so
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
you built it single-handedly, so you can handle
exactly.
whatever
Yeah,
you
we
want.
all Bill Sweet Hanley. You know.
Now, I have a
started
question
seeing-
about the military.
Yeah.
Are we currently at war?
No.
No, we're not in 2 wars.
No.
Were
Not
those
that-
wars fought on U.S. soil?
What are you getting at, man?
Yeah.
Huh?
What?
Well,
Like
that was
conflicts?
just that was just a Joe Bagwell thing from It's Always Sunny. I just wanted to get that out there for Joe.
Okay.
Oh.
You really just confused the fuck out of all of us.
Yeah,
so.
That's fine.
I'm like,
That's fine.
Kind
Okay.
of sidewinded us there.
what
but
the
hey,
fuck?
I
is
told
going
Joe
on?
I'd give him a little something, something. So there it is, Joe.
Joe, I'm sorry he failed you.
Going
I'm
back, saying that that people have to salute you. Do you think that would be something that we should incorporate into the podcast? Like maybe these two have to salute me because I
Yeah,
own
'cause you-
0.01%
hold on,
you are
of
the-
the podcast.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this is Beast time, not Tim's time, to try and bulk up his ego. Your head's getting bigger. The headset's not gonna fit anymore.
I mean,
Tim.
yeah, like with the
What
salute.
do you think, B?
Well, yeah, we shout out to Tim because Tim's a commanding guy here, but.
Is
Why,
he?
you don't know what you,
You
just
heard
did.
it here
B.
first.
I know, yeah, it's bad. But anyway, when it comes to that salute, like I'm not saying like it's just like a tradition to do it. Like when I first got my saluted, I was on the training base. I went to the next or whatever. I got a salute from a senior chief. I was like,
Now is that
I was
weird?
like,
Is that a weird
it was
feeling?
really weird because
Is it kind of like a humbling? Like,
yeah,
whoa.
it's like whoa, okay, now I'm in charge. Like I'm not gonna go around and say I see one of our friends comes back and they're in the uniform in my uniform. They it's just common courtesy to salute. I'm not gonna be like, oh, what are you like? I'm not gonna go at them and roast them. Like it's just not my personality. You guys know me. It's not my personality to do that.
Mhm.
And because they've been
Well,
they've been in longer than I. It doesn't matter if they're enlisted. It's just respect type of thing.
Well, I feel like I can say this because from knowing you, the amount of time I have, like, you'll treat the top guy in the military the same way you'll treat someone who's at basic training. Everyone has the same amount of respect with you, and you're not going to sit there and flaunt that you have this power over someone or just anything like that. It's just not your character or anything like that. So
yeah, I appreciate that, but especially with the enlisted, the NCOs, if those that are listening, the non-commissioned officers, those guys are the backbone of the military. They get the dirty work done. Us officers, yeah, officers do a lot too, but they do that the most. The NCOs, so
For sure.
for sure.
for sure.
So now that we talked about the military, we know you played college football, high school football, Little Patriots, even modified football.
Modified.
And
That sounds
at one
really
point, we
bad.
were all on the same football
What?
team. What are probably some of your favorite memories just about football or in general, whatever they may be?
Okay.
Whether
so
it might not even just be playing in a game or just any sort of memory.
I remember, what was this? This was Lansingburg, junior year, first opening round of sectionals. We told that basically, we're a nice little story coming out. Like, the BP's a great little story coming out, and we come out, we smack them in the mouth, we win 43-7. It wasn't that. My two favorite memories is first play. They ran a counter. I remember this. I can picture back the smell when it was in the air. Pierre and I read it perfectly. We blitzed through the B gap. We both tackled in the backfield. Then
That was the number 3 running back in the state
Yeah,
at the time.
it
We
was,
held him
yeah.
under 50
I mean,
yards for the whole game.
I mean, I don't want to open up the yearbook and crap, but
Yeah, let's not get the
those
tears
were
going.
But then one of my favorite memories ever was they.
fall.
One of my favorite memories was. One of my favorite memories was they later in the game they fumbled the ball in a handoff and Pierre is about to jump on and get a touchdown
Oh, yeah.
and somehow somewhere I squeeze underneath and I'm getting punched. He's like,
to this
you
day,
stole my touchdown.
I
You
remember
ass.
it was a goal line situation, but reverse. So their quarterback took the handoff in the end zone. It was that close to a safety, and they fumbled it. And I was like, "Oh my god, touchdown, baby! Here we go. This is great." And I'm going for the ball, and then I just see the number 32 dive on top of the football, and I was like, so many mixed emotions. We just scored a touchdown, fantastic, but that was my touchdown, and I just got robbed.
Yeah, I got a nice little, Pierre was like, robbed my touchdown. I'm sorry, Pierre, I saw the ball. Doesn't matter. I was going to
Yeah.
grab it. I was too. I was right there for it.
We have a lot of great memories. I know
Biagio and I both tore our ACL.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was probably most
as
humbling
a
memory.
someone with good ACLs,
Yeah, both
I just
of
want to
us.
say you guys both kind of suck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, us
Uh,
ACLs are proud.
Did you
people.
hear a pop?
ACLs.
Yup. Okay, it's torn.
Uh,
you don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
freaking-
remember,
yeah.
we were getting ready to play in the high school Section 2 Super Bowl. We're doing, first team D against Amaco, and B goes down, all this and that. And we lost essentially the heart and soul of our defense right before the Super Bowl. Our Mike linebacker who calls the defense, who gets everyone going, ready to go. And that was just like a devastating blow. And it's, it's something I think, Tim didn't even play our senior year, but it's something that we all wish we could take back and have you on the field in the Super Bowl. Because that's, you guys weren't fortunate enough to get back there your senior year. It's just something, we all wish you could have been there for. I know you were there, but we wish you were on the field with us. Whether we got our asses kicked or we won, we wish you were on the field with us.
Yeah, I do believe. Actually, I think I went to that game.
Yeah, you went
in
with
the
Connor.
bleachers. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not
Emotional.
tooting my own horn to quote Peter Griffin, but like I'm not I did seem something was different. I mean, it's 2 days before the Super Bowl, like is whatever. I mean, I hate opening up the yearbook, but like even though it sucked, it was terrible. It just maybe the person like I am today, like
Oh yeah.
it's Craig knows too. He went through PT with a torn ACL. He came back and played. It's just
I was on the team.
Okay, that doesn't okay.
I understand what you're
I was
saying.
trying to toot your horn, Craig.
Water boy extraordinaire.
But yeah,
Hydration specialist.
it's just a humbling experience. Makes you who you are, and anyone that's torn ACL, Pierre, you tore your labrum, you had surgery. I mean, even though you didn't come back, it makes you. Wait, did you get your labrum done before senior year? Or
I
was
got it
after?
done senior year in the middle of indoor track.
Okay, yeah. So like, yeah, it's
Labrum,
it's a humbling
labrum
experience.
is shoulder, not labia.
Thanks for that stipulation.
Anyone
too.
that knows Greg Castle, I
Clarification.
pulled the Sam Bradford and this and that. Now after high school, you went and played college football, but it's not where you graduated from. You went to Utica, right?
Yeah, so I went to Utica College for a year. There, the reason why I left was because I was just a number. I mean, I'm 5'8". At that time, I weighed like 205, 210. I mean,
Those are the days.
those are the days. Now I
8th
weigh
grade
like
was the best
170.
time.
8th grade was exactly. Yeah. But I didn't like. No, I'm not disrespecting Utica program. Like they beat us every time I was at my other college, but they run a good program. They want you to be the best there too, and they have a lot of I was just a number on the roster. There's kids there, 6'2", 6'3", bigger, faster, stronger than me. It just it came down, and no offense to anyone went to the school, graduated from school, liked the school. I wasn't a spot for me. So
Yeah,
Just didn't work out, and that's
it
fine.
that's
really
what's-
just didn't work out.
And that's what's nice about like with college football, like and just college in general. If it's not for you, like if you think you're going to be a great fit and then you get there and it doesn't work out, it's your choice to what you want to do next. Whether you want to leave school and go into the workforce, or
exactly.
in your instance, you transferred to Hartwick, and then you broke the starting lineup, and that was the best decision for you, it seems.
Oh yeah, it was.
Now tell us a little bit like about your time at Hartwick.
Okay, yeah. Since I just graduated yesterday, it was a great experience. Football wise, I mean, I can't thank you've never hear this, but I can't thank Coach Gard enough for give me another. I told this multiple times, but for giving me a chance to come back and play the sport that I absolutely loved. I know a lot of people that transfer they don't play, but overall, Hartwick was a great experience. I didn't like Utica because I was in the middle of the city. Growing up here, especially in the Adirondacks, I like to see the trees and you guys went at least Pierre's been to Hartwick. It's gorgeous. It's up on top of the hill. I can't thank the people enough that I was with, my friends, the professors. I mean, you're treated like your name there. You're not a number that someone's trying to like, all right, that's just passing by. Like
You're not just another number on the roster.
exactly. Like like we had a big
You had a
roster.
relationship with your coaches.
Exactly.
And
Like
your
not like I
teammates.
didn't have at Utica. It was really hard to have that for some reason for me.
Mhm.
Other people didn't, but I loved Hartwick. I can't. I'm in debt, but it's whatever. It's really whatever at this point. It's just something you take.
Yeah.
But it changed me too. It shaped me. So I loved it there.
Now,
Nice.
oh, go ahead, Craig.
Nice.
Nice.
Cool.
Now let's talk.
Super.
It's a big thing in the news right now. It's just very popular between parents and athletes from every sport. Is concussions. I've been diagnosed with multiple
There it
concussions.
is, right there. There's
Yeah.
the concussion coming out.
Craig has definitely had some. I don't know if they were diagnosed, but you were diagnosed
Delivered
during the
by-
season at one
Yeah.
point.
Delivered
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Pierre.
Well, I had a concussion once. Remember?
Were you diagnosed?
No.
Yeah. No. I.
Bulger hit me real hard once, and then I couldn't do math for a
I
whole
work
week.
with a kid
I
now.
couldn't do math for a whole week.
It was real
I work
rough.
with a kid now who was a freshman when we were seniors, and he said, "I quit playing my sophomore year because you and Devin Renda hit me so hard I got
Oh
a
my
concussion."
God.
There you go.
But anyway, B, so
good.
you got a
Yeah.
concussion
It's nice to laugh about it
the
now.
middle of the season, right?
Yeah, so kind of towards the end of the season against we played against SUNY Cortland. I didn't think I had one. I think I just rung my bell.
You had a
but,
C word, right?
Yeah, C word. Yeah,
That
we don't-
is
yeah.
concussion is the C word of the
Yeah, you
the
don't talk-
sports world.
Football
So
program.
like now, but I mean, back in our day, they just take you off, do some basic tests. Now,
Now it's no joke.
oh no,
absolutely not.
No, it's bad. Like there's so many protocols. So like one of the tests was like your working memory. I'm college educated, no intellectual stuff, but working memory is basically like like a minute to like 5 minutes. Like you're working in your head.
Yeah.
After?
Like,
Like
yeah,
immediately
like
after?
immediately after. So you go to the trainer. I go Heidi or trainer. I shouldn't say her name, but
Her name's Heidi now.
Tim, cut that. So I go, I'm sorry, my head's killing me. I can't like think straight. So all right, I go, yeah, I got popped really good. I blitz into the line. A 300-pound guard smacked me right in the face. Anyway, he was ready for it. So we're there. You're doing balancing with your eyes closed and stuff, and then you have like 5 words you have to memorize. Like, all right, it's like monkey, dog, flag, clock, water bottle. And you have to say it backwards and forwards. And then you're given...
I don't think I could do that if I didn't have a concussion.
And then you're giving numbers to remember, like 7 numbers. It's like right where the memory where you can remember it, and you move forwards and backwards, do a couple things. You're like, okay, what were the first 5 words I told you? And you're like, Craig, water bottle, flag.
Craig with the
Can
shout
I go
out.
again? It's yeah. Craig with a shout. I love
Thank you.
And
Heidi.
nowadays it's, you know,
Tim. Cut that.
just I've only been a coach and at the modified level for 2 years now, going on my 3rd. It's such a serious, especially at my level, because there's so much brain development with these young boys, and if we ever have a girl on our team, a young girl, but it's especially at my level compared to like the college level where your brain is more developed and all this and that. And like, with a concussion, it's the swelling of the brain inside the skull. And these guys, some of them, like, they don't understand the difference between a head injury and being dehydrated. Because let's be honest, when we were all 11, 12, 13 years old, how much water were we drinking compared to, Tim probably drank 2 gallons of Faygo before practice.
Mountain Dew, boy.
Mountain Dew, actually.
Mountain Frost.
Oh, yeah, Mountain Frost. Or Sam's.
So, like, they'll
Sam's
have a
Mountain
headache, and if they think they have a head injury, I'm not going to sit there and say, no, you don't, because, it's not worth a modified football game. But if they say they have a head injury, and they go to the doctor, it's immediate. 2 weeks out, you're diagnosed with a concussion, whether you have one or not, and then you go into protocol after that. So really, you're looking at 3 or 4 weeks completely out, no working out, you can't do anything, and it's just there's a lot of misconceptions going around about concussions lately, and it's a big fear thing, which is understandable because it's a very, very serious thing. It can ruin your life. I mean, you look at some of these players, like Troy Aikman was one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He was forced into retirement early because of the amount of concussions he took. And some of these guys, like Floyd Mayweather, when he's like 50 or 60, will probably die due to the blows he's taken to the head.
Yeah,
But doing a couple of research and talking to the head coach of our program, who's very like on top of it when it comes to head injuries, just because of the times you have to know what you're talking about. And you get these parents that are very scared, and he'll sit down and talk to the parents and explain things that are going on. Like, if you're 14 or younger, you have a better chance of getting a concussion from crashing your bicycle than playing football.
Oh yeah.
And like back in the day, in the early 2000s and 90s, with coaching, it was, tackling was just get the guy on the ground with any means possible. And now we have full programs, full setups, to where your head is almost completely out of the equation. Your head is completely out of the equation. It's no longer, quote, bite the football, put your head on the ball. It's lead with your off shoulder, and it's all this and that. And it's to protect the players, because out of all these kids, they might love football no matter what. They might love football no matter what. We have to protect them and their heads and their brain development, because they're student athletes, so school comes first. And there's just been with technology nowadays, such a spike in helmet development. And it used to be no helmets at all. And then it went to leather caps just to protect your skull. And now, within the last 15 years, they've realized, okay, maybe we need to actually switch it from protecting the skull to protecting your brain. And now they have helmets that almost completely absorb all of the shock from a blow and all.
I'm sorry. I think someone might have farted in the.
It was the dog.
It was
not Craig.
It was I think it might be Craig. That big booty's big, man.
All right,
So
let's pause. Let's pause here.
Let's pause here. Let's air out the room real quick.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave this running.
You'll cut it out.
Yeah, I'll cut it out after.
Jesus Christ.
That's bad.
I think she farted.
Maggie.
19 minutes. 19:25.
So,
Okay. Headphones on.
Music be blaring. Huh? And start.
All right. So one thing we were gonna also talk about with this is how we used to play compared to like how our head coach has us coaching. Like when I played, we had no regard for our body or our health.
And it
we're-
wasn't the coaches that didn't have. Like,
no, our
it
coaches
was, it was more of a
definitely
personal
were trying
thing.
to. Oh, it was 100%
system.
Oh, yeah.
personal.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was, when people say mind over matter, they don't say go out there and
Break your
take
hand.
10 years off of your life in
I
order to
think
win a
it's
high school football game.
over-exaggeration.
Oh, Jesus.
We'll see. You know? Like I know, every time I would tackle, I would lead with my head because it seemed like the most efficient way to get someone on the ground. And like nowadays, it's as a coaching staff, our head coach, and he didn't even have to make us do this. It's just something we all wanted to do, was make the kids understand that, this can be a very dangerous game if you don't play it right.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not the most dangerous game out there.
No. I mean,
Not
just
that one
like
sport's more
high school sports, just statistically wise, you have a better chance. Like lacrosse leads concussions in high school sports in the nation, which makes a lot of sense. It's very contact. You can hit up the side of the head with the ball,
Yeah.
which doesn't like women's lacrosse. They don't wear helmets. It didn't make any sense.
They're,
to
Yeah,
they're
like-
not full contact.
like-
though.
Okay, but still, you can
Men's
take one of those
lacrosse is
balls
full
up the side of the
contact.
head.
But yeah, I mean, like my girlfriend, she's taking balls to the side of the head too, and she,
Hell yeah, she has.
Jesus Christ.
No, like
Tim cut that.
Tim and Craig, for the years that you guys played, like, was it
Hold
ever-
on, Pierre. Let me ask you this: why do you think football has such a target on it versus
Because
say,
it's an easy
soccer?
target because how big football is with the NFL, and you see all these big time players. Like, I mean, who was it? Ricardo Lockett or something from the Seahawks
Yeah,
a few years ago. He got a concussion and almost killed him. But
So they're in the limelight more often.
yeah,
than,
it's in the mainstream media. It's
like name one professional lacrosse player. You can't.
Yeah,
Exactly.
even like professional soccer player for the U.S. Like
Like
unless you're like a diehard
Howard.
soccer. There you
Secretary
go.
of Defense.
Like it's because football is such a big sport in the U.S. that it's getting all of this attention and all
It's
this
catching
and that.
all this flack.
Exactly. Like I know.
But I do believe like there was one point where they were really trying to cover up a lot of studies.
Like the
that
NFL.
yeah.
There's a
Oh,
big
it
lawsuit
was-
with the NFL because
Like,
was-
they've known about this for
exactly.
a long time.
It wasn't so much like because I'm a big believer with the NFL. Like what you're signing up for. You're getting paid all of this money. When you retire, don't sit there and complain and try to attack the NFL for it. But in the situation of the lawsuit, the NFL knew all of these injuries that were going on and the effects that it could have on these people, and they tried to cover it up. And that's why the big lawsuit's coming out where they're paying out millions of dollars to former players. It's just a very, just hot button topic right now between kids wanting to play and just their attitude towards football. And
Now, let me ask you this: Have you seen like a lot of like number drops as far as kids participation numbers? I
Oh,
guess.
across, I can only speak for this area, but in general, with like modified JV high school in general, football numbers are dropping. And I saw a statistic once our head coach showed us that like by 2035, there's a chance that high school football won't even be a thing anymore.
And do you think that's solely because
I think it's
Parents
because
are-
parents are afraid of concussions without really knowing what's happening.
so they're not getting all the information?
Exactly. They're just listening to, oh, Bobby played football last week and he got a concussion, but they didn't like mention why. That, Bobby went headfirst into a pile with his head down instead of playing the game the way it's supposed to be played now with protecting yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And like we see it all the time, like
oh, little
just the seriousness of concussions with car accidents and everything else. Like a lot of moms, just in general, there's a lot of nurses out there. So, and most likely everyone has someone that works in a hospital in their family, or someone.
You're friends with someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they talk about how, oh my God, this guy came in, he got in an accident, and he got such a bad concussion, and he's in a coma. And then the parent will start thinking in their head, and I can't say I don't blame them, that, what if my kid gets a serious concussion playing football? Like, my cousin's cousin got in a snowmobile accident, and he has almost half of his brain function now due to a concussion. He'll pour a glass of juice and just like put the juice in the fridge, turn around, look at the juice, and be like, oh, I don't know where this came from, and then walk away. And there's a serious issue with him driving and all of this and that. So it's definitely very scary. But if you take care of yourself, like drinking a lot of water will definitely help. Like there's just
Because what is a concussion? It's like a bruise on your brain,
it's
isn't
the
it?
swelling of the brain inside the skull.
Because of like it's hitting against.
Yeah,
the skull.
because your brain is bouncing
got
against the
bounced,
skull. And like just
And,
back to
CTE comes out of your nose.
I mean,
back to the
when we were playing, I mean, like
Okay.
like little league football and everything else like that. I mean, you remember the helmets that we used to have?
It was
hard
foam.
Hard phone. It was
But,
Hard
like,
foam.
nowadays,
and then like
even
as we were like juniors and seniors in high school, that's when they first started coming out with those like, well, what do you want to call
Concussion
them?
helmets,
Well,
right?
yeah,
Gel.
like air pads.
Like,
yeah.
I know
gel
the-
type of stuff.
Some
almost like an
companies use like
airbag
almost
inside.
a memory foam in theirs. Rydell has this new helmet that it has a spot right here on the crown of your head on the skull.
that gives way.
It has it's essentially like a box, but only the top part is connected, so that when you take a blow there, it's not just pushing everything down against your head. It's absorbing the shock there. And there's so much technology enhancement with, instead of just protecting the skull, protecting the brain with absorbing shock. The face masks now, there's such a study with face masks to absorb like the vibrations and all this and that. And like with the way technology is going and like school having the funds to get everything they need, like things I hope will start turning around soon. And
They'll get better.
yeah, because like
Over time.
even soccer, there's just such a growing concern with concussions because of headers.
Oh,
Like,
even
I
like
saw
catching
a-
a ball to a face.
Yeah,
like
I saw a thing like on corner kicks is, you know, I don't want to speak because I don't really know, but like it seems like corner kicks is most of the time when headers happen.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying so hard to get the ball, they're trying so hard to score that they're just swinging their head to try, you know, to make contact.
Yeah.
When there's a small portion on your forehead where you're supposed to make contact with. Devin
Yeah.
Page was telling me about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
That, you know, most of the time you miss.
You never like.
So
that
now
part's
they're
not being used.
making headbands for soccer players, like they have like a Nike logo and all this and that absorb the blow to help with that. The MLB has concussion issues because pitchers, the ball is getting hit right back at them at
Oh, yeah,
over
it's
150
smacked.
miles an hour, and so some of the reaction times are amazing and they can catch it, but some guys get hit in the head and they get knocked unconscious.
Oh yeah, and I've even seen clips of like even balls just like getting thrown down the pitch, just curving and smacking people right in the face of like.
Giancarlo Stanton, the Yankees outfielder,
Yeah.
when he was on the Marlins, he took one to the jaw and he was out for almost the whole year because it broke his jaw.
Yeah, career-ending stuff.
Yeah, he had to get like plastic surgery and everything.
Yeah, and now they're making helmets that go down around half
Oh.
the face.
I always thought that was like optional. Probably.
Oh, it is,
probably
but like, I mean, Bryce Harper, some of the big names in the sport are doing it because they just realize, you know, you got to take care of your, like, I mean, look at Tom Brady, the ageless wonder. The reason he's still able to play is because of how much he takes care of himself. Strict diet, strict workout routine, all this and that, and like compared to, you know, you look at Brett Favre and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was great and arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, but he was always eating steak and smoking cigars.
Yeah.
Now, be like, when you were playing in college, was that like anything that they ever like physically talked about?
Oh,
like in practice and stuff.
Oh.
Was like, hey, if you lead with your head, you're sitting out for the plays or whatever.
Yeah, so like our athletic training staff was great, even though we were so they forced us into it. My junior year, there's a new athletic trainer there, and she shows a video of like kid that had second impact syndrome. Like he got a concussion, and he decided to keep playing, and then he got another concussion, and all of a sudden he lost most of his brain function. And
Yeah.
he couldn't talk, couldn't do basic stuff, and that scared the living crap out of us.
Oh yeah.
But then like usually like once a week we'll do a tackling circuit, and they make sure
Mhm.
that if you lead with your head, they're gonna
Yeah,
correct you. on
just
the
I know
spot.
one thing you
They're
do.
gonna make you do
Practice.
good form. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry to cut you off though,
Oh, no, no.
but like the best thing for me, I feel like, is doing more tackling.
Like the
drills.
basics.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. We did basics. Okay, you know, double team tackle, head up, run your head, hit with the chest, run with your head. And I personally thought that, you know, when it comes to the game, we did game time. You know, we did scrimmage and stuff. Like, if you don't want to scrimmage, you have to do more tackling. And
Mhm.
for,
Yeah.
I'm talking about football. I don't know
Like
anything
even
other sports,
pregame
but-
for us now, we do. It's like a 5-step tackling thing. It's like, you know, shoulders, like try and touch your shoulder blades together to put your chest out more, so that'll be taking more of the blow,
Yeah.
sinking. It's just so much now, and I can speak from personal experience. Like having a concussion, like I get why some people are so afraid. Shout out to Elisa at one of our friend Brandon's graduation parties, going down a water slide, kicked me square in the face by accident, and I had the worst concussion. I remember I was on the water slide.
100-pound soaking wet gave
Yeah.
you concussion.
Then I remember essentially waking up, but I was standing in Brandon's bathroom, and I came out and I asked Brandon's mom, you know, where am I? Like we've all been there 100
Oh, I
times.
remember that.
And then I walked out and
I
it
don't
was
think I was there.
I don't know if you were there, but Michaela was. You guys weren't dating at the time. And then I remember waking up sitting in a chair with Michaela standing over me. And she's like, all right, I'm going to bring you home. I've already called your sister. And then I remember waking up at my house.
Yeah.
And I have no recollection of getting home or anything that happened. I just remember waking up with my sisters freaking out because, it's my sisters. And my mom ready to take me to the hospital. And my sister Alyssa was like, are you okay? And she said I started crying and said, I don't want to play football if I get another concussion.
Wow.
And it was just like, I completely understand why people are afraid and take the precautions and know what you're doing. But it can be absolutely terrifying when you get a concussion.
Oh, no, it is terrifying. Like, because it was my last year, I wanted to play, and then it's like, crap, all right. Like, you force yourself through the process, you force yourself through things. And it's terrifying because, like, your texts are, like my girlfriend, like, I would, sometimes I script a word or two, but, like, she'd said, you were not making sense. I can make sense of it, but you weren't making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I would send, like, weird, like, there's some on the iPhone, like, it has, like, this weird exploding freaking, like.
No, it has a poster of me on
it's
the
a pain,
wall.
yeah.
This must be my room.
This must be my room. Make Alex pancakes. Did you ever see one? But yeah, it's a different experience. Just you're spaced
Mm-hmm.
out. Like,
And
it's
after you
bad.
have one, you're definitely like, wow, I need to start changing some things with playing or just in life. So yeah,
yeah.
concussions.
I mean, do you
Definitely
guys,
do your research on it.
Yes. Yeah.
do you mind if I take this down story memory lane for,
Yeah,
for
let's
a
hear it.
quick
Go
second?
ahead, go ahead.
Maybe we can
I
even
can't
get Craig's
say-
input. He's been pretty quiet.
I can't say particularly that I have had a concussion, like, by a doctor, but I do remember this one time when I was living in Corinth, and
Another
it was my
Corinth
birthday
story.
party.
B-Day.
I probably told you guys this one before.
Probably.
It's the reason why we're not allowed to have piñatas at birthday parties anymore. And so, I'm standing there, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm 3 at the time, maybe 4.
Yeah. Can wail on this goddamn thing.
No, I wasn't even swinging. I'm standing there. I go, I wonder why everyone just stepped back. I look up, and it's just a piñata stick coming right from my fucking face. Knocked me the fuck out. And I was told that I had about a golf ball sized lump on my 3-year-old head. Just like passed out in the kitchen. Just like I blacked out. And I remember the piñata, and like I remember that, all that up to that point.
What was the pinata?
I don't fucking remember.
You said you remember.
I
the
remember
piñata.
like the situation.
Seems like that's my earliest memory and my last memory.
Who are you?
So now that we've talked about concussions for a little bit, let's
Yeah,
kick it
fun
over to
part.
Tim for an Adirondack fact, maybe lighten things up a little bit.
Hey guys, it's me, Tim, the host of Adirondack Facts.
One of 3 hosts.
One.
Oh, I'm the host of Adirondack Facts.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. All
This is my segment.
Talk to me
Did
on
you
my
guys
time.
know that the rocks in the Adirondacks are some of the oldest rocks on the planet?
Are all rocks the same age?
No.
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 Don't get the jealous just in on us
Yeah.
again.
It's just like,
I just want
But-
to play devil's advocate here. Like,
Okay, let me
Alright,
talk. Let
No,
me tell
yeah,
you my
like-
fact. Let me
okay,
tell you my
okay,
fact.
okay, go.
Okay, fuck. I missed this last week. The rocks are the oldest on the planet, but geologically speaking, the mountains are some of the youngest planets. Yep, youngest mountains on the planet. And
Wow.
that is it. So
That's your
it
fact?
looks like the itinerary says it's time for the Laporte report. So let's see what's going on over there.
All right, guys. What's going on, guys? I figured I'd do my
What's up,
Craig
guys?
streamer entrance. My report this
I
week.
do not stream.
Are pigeons
Not yet.
real?
Pigeons.
I've never seen a baby pigeon. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen a baby pigeon?
I did see something on the Facebook once.
You can
saying
only
that-
find them in the city.
I've seen them.
That's
Are pigeons made by the government to spy on us?
that's what I
Yes.
heard.
And that's what I
Yes,
saw
yes.
too. So it made me think.
We are
Are pigeons
conspiracy
made by the government to spy on us?
Yes.
Are we doing some Hunger Games shit?
That's like the Mockingjays are made by the government to spy on the people.
Oh, okay. But I mean,
Really?
Craig, how
I
do you
never-
feel? Do you think pigeons are real?
They
I've never
cost
seen a baby pigeon.
Yes, I think pigeons are real.
All right. What about you, Tim?
I think they're really for spying on the people.
Okay. What about you? B, you're the tiebreaker.
I think pigeons are real.
For spying or for
Wait,
being
for
animals?
spying or for
Like you
being
think they're
animals?
real animals?
Can they be both?
Ooh,
I
never-
think
can-
they're
can-
You're
real
a fence
animals that
sitter.
spy.
Apparently, our viewers don't like fence sitters.
Yeah.
No, but
No,
yeah, I
we
understand
don't.
why. I mean, but can it be both though?
I mean, they
Like,
could.
they?
I
Well, I mean,
think they were
when's the
made
last
to
time you
spread
saw
the
some-
AIDS over the major cities.
You heard it here first, folks.
Hard
Confirmed from Tim. Pigeons
Hard.
were made to spread AIDS.
Hard as a rock.
No, have you ever seen a pigeon in Broad Alban?
Yes.
I haven't.
I've seen one in Amsterdam.
Yeah, I've seen 'em in
Because there's a
Amsterdam,
city
yeah.
there. They want to know what's going on in
Yeah, because
Amsterdam.
that's where all the food is. Yeah, that's where all the food is.
Oh, you got me there. That's a good point.
Do you know they pigeon race?
What?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
isn't
Yep.
that insane?
I met a guy once that did a pigeon race.
Of
and
course
he
you did. You meet everyone that has everything to do with birds.
I like birds.
I like
Bird
birds.
of my
If you
feather.
guys think Craig should be a falconer, go ahead and tweet us and just let us know what you think and what he should name it. My vote is Xerxes.
ADK,
Xerxes.
at ADK
Xerxes.
Voice.
So that's my report. If you guys like it or don't like it, let me know on probably Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Maybe just tweet at Tim's personal Twitter and attack him for it.
Okay.
So now we're gonna go
I'm
over
fine
to
with
Tim's
this.
spooky saga, and he's gonna continue his story.
I'm
How
excited
about
for this?
Was it
Okay.
Swampa?
Swampa's back, baby. So last time we talked, I had told you about Swampa, his wife Daisy, who he is, and how he got started.
And how Daisy was the first female tennis star.
Oh yeah, yes. Daisy was the first female tennis star on the block.
Tim,
So-
can I just have a guess on how, like, okay, hear me out here.
Guess
So-
the Swampa story. I bet you can't.
All right, so
Shit
say
gets
there's
twisted.
there's a group of swamp monsters that kidnapped Daisy and turned her into a swamp monster.
No,
No, you
And
can't.
the only way to satisfy her is to rocket
no.
tennis balls into the
That's
swamp.
not Swampa's story.
Shut up, Craig.
Craig, you can fuck yourself.
Yeah, Craig.
No, actually, Swampa, his story goes something like this. So, Swampa threw himself into his work. He's a stockbroker. You know, he's really trying to get that money. He's trying to build a future for him
that
and
paper.
Daisy. But one day, Daisy comes to Swampa. I won't say his real name because he's a real person and he really exists. And Swampa says, well, she says to Swampa, I can't be with you anymore. You're just too much. You're into your work too much. And this sent Swampa off. Daisy moved upstate to the Adirondacks, and Swampa spent 20 years in the city eating pigeons. And for the story to come full circle, and the meat from the pigeons was slightly toxic, so this caused Swampa's brain to become underdeveloped. But then one day he had an epiphany. He was probably about 56, 57 at the time. And he decided, I'm going to go find Daisy. I'm going to go find her. And so he moves on up to the great upper New York state. And he's searching for Daisy.
Oh.
Only to find out that Daisy has been kidnapped by demons. Swamp
Ooh,
demons.
Swamp demons.
And I think that's where we'll pause the saga for
Now,
now.
wait. Are
Chills
you
going
sure
on
it
now.
wasn't the enemies of the Justice League? Because they hide in the swamp.
Oh yeah.
No, it's swamp demons. That's what I said. That's what happened.
All right, okay.
Is
Okay.
it like a slee stack from like the Land of the Lost?
It's
No.
time for Would You Rather?
Play a little game. All right, who's going to kick us off today? Craig, you want to start us?
All right, yeah, I'll start you. Okay, this is a question for all three of yous sitting at the table.
All right.
And we'll go.
We'll start with me to Tim to B and then back to Craig.
All right, fine. Okay, would you rather eat a human toenail or smack a beehive?
Smack a beehive.
Smack a beehive.
Definitely smack a beehive.
I mean, I'm already at war,
I
so I
mean,
might as well take the first move.
I mean, you are a warrior. You're fine. So definitely
right.
smack a beehive.
All right.
Wait,
Would
what
you
about Craig?
I'd probably go for the beehive.
Okay.
would you rather lose a foot or a hand?
I would rather lose a hand.
B.
Or lose a hand. Look,
Craig?
Hand.
All right.
What about you?
Ooh.
look at Jamie Lannister. He doesn't. He has one hand. He's still a pretty good
I'll
swordsman.
lose my left hand. Be
Yeah. Use my
fine.
left hand.
No
Or,
more
you know,
switch.
you
No
could
more
be-
switch hitting for Tim.
I
I mean, it
couldn't
could be-
switch it anyways.
I mean, you could. Yeah, you could be stranger than.
I'd probably lose a foot.
Stranger.
As long as I can lose it like halfway up my shin.
You go for the foot?
Yeah, I'd go for the foot.
Dude, you'd be walking with crutches or in a wheelchair.
Or
Yeah.
prosthetics. You know, there's this crazy
No, that's
thing.
true. That's
My
true.
uncle
Oh.
doesn't have a leg.
Do you think that hurts to walk with a prosthetic?
They're probably used to it.
Probably.
All right, Tim, what you got?
All right. Would you guys rather go back in time and be rich, So you're like, it's the 1800s and well, we're rich, but it's still the fucking past, so there's no showers and stuff. Or would you rather go to the future and be completely flat broke?
Past and rich.
Past and rich?
I'd rather go future.
Okay,
Just
there's no
because.
toilet paper in the past, by the way.
Exactly.
There's always leaves.
There's always poison ivy. B, what do you think?
I have probably the future because it'd be kind of cool to be like there. Like I don't care if I'm flat broke. You probably get a job or something.
It's probably still nice to be broke in the future.
It's probably
Yeah.
yeah. You're probably somehow some way.
Craig, what'd you say?
Past.
Past. I'll go future.
I was going to go future, too.
All right,
Yeah,
B, what you got
future.
for us?
All right, this one's really like shitty.
That's fine.
It's all right. So kind of with Craig, would you rather eat toenails or fingernails? And they're like they're clipped, and they're like dirty and stuff.
Would I rather eat them?
No, would you rather eat
Well, I
toenails
mean,
or fingernails? Because-
surface area alone.
No, is this like a cereal where you can put some milk in it? You get a whole bowl.
Yeah, like,
So
like,
you're
like from
eating-
Family Guy. The guy
I regret saying that.
the Family Guy. The guy that
Fingernails.
collects toenails.
It's not just one.
Oh,
Finger-
it's like a bowl. It's like a cereal bowl full of,
Fuck.
for like would you eat them for like a cereal bowl? You can milk.
Let's go,
Who does
Craig.
it come from? Is it
Craig.
like
Let's.
No,
Well,
fingernails are smaller. Go with the fingernails to go down the gullet easier.
does it matter who it comes from? Because
It
I'd
could
rather
just
take it from like a 90-pound
It's a
girl.
simple would you rather.
yeah,
Okay, but I'd rather
I'm
eat
not-
a
would you rather
90-pound
eat
girl's
anymore.
fine.
Just-
Fingernails.
Thank you.
See,
I don't want
I'm
no
gonna
250-pound Bubba's toenails.
Oh, God. I'm actually going to go toenails because here's my logic.
Ooh, that's I got
Fingernails
touch everything.
can touch everything.
And,
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 if your finger goes through the paper, you're wiping with your nail, right, Tim?
You're
oh,
damn
I've
straight.
had that happen to me before. It's disgusting.
So,
Biagio, what about you?
I see. I did this because I can never decide. I rather just do the toenails just to get it over with. I mean, I know sometimes feet has been in really shitty places. Most of the time it's just sweaty.
yeah,
Disgusting.
just sweat.
Most of the time
That's
you can,
electrolytes, though.
you can play your odds. Like, all right, this person's just really sweaty toenails.
All right. My second one. You ready for this? Lick a gas station toilet,
Yuck.
like the seat,
Turlet.
Turlet.
or eat a June bug.
Oh,
Well, I work at a gas station, so I want 100% go on a bowl of June bugs.
June bugs all the way.
June bugs. I mean,
Been there, done that, got the June bug done.
yeah. I mean, you get your
I mean,
protein-
it's
eat
not
your
like you
protein
had
for
to
that.
lick the gas station toilet. You chose to eat the June bug. Just
Yeah.
because you thought
Come
someone
on.
would be your friend. All right. Would you rather have sex with the band, everyone in the band of Motley Crue one time a year, or never have sex again in your life?
Oh, Jesus.
I would definitely fuck Motley Crue.
You're gonna
Once
get a
a
lot
year.
of stuff.
That's okay.
Oh
Fuck
my
it.
god.
I like getting my dick wet.
Jesus.
Like,
Pussy, pussy.
so like, wait, I'm not gonna pull up here on this.
The fuck does that mean?
Expand on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Then, okay.
God forbid I think.
You just said sex, right? I can.
Doesn't matter what. You just got to do it.
Hand jobs are sex.
Could be hand stuff. Could be mouth stuff.
Could be
Butt stuff.
other stuff.
You could be the power bottom if you really wanted.
Jesus.
All right, I'm going never
Whoa, whoa,
having.
whoa, whoa! B didn't answer.
Yeah,
Oh, he
he
didn't?
is
My
working
bad.
through. He's processing, my
Oh,
guy.
God. You know what? I'd probably go with Tim.
We're
go with
fucking.
Tim.
Yeah.
I'm
Together,
I'm
bud. They go
no
with Tim.
offense to
I like-
Motley
I like
Crue,
it
but
too
I'm
much.
gonna pass on them.
Well, I mean,
And
it's not
never
like you
have
have it
sex
anyway.
again.
Yeah.
Craig, you
I'm
know-
going Motley Crue.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
you
sorry,
can't
I can't pass on it. Can't pass on it.
You know you can't touch. That's like part of sex, right? You can't touch yourself. You can't fuck. Like you can't fuck yourself, Craig.
Christ is watching.
Yeah, Christ is always.
All right, Tim, what you got? Your last one or second one?
Second one. Would you rather your mind be put into a gorilla's body or a bear's body?
Bear.
Bear.
I'd say gorilla.
100% a bear.
Bears
100%.
are fucking savages, man.
I know, but
100%
a gorilla's fucking strong as fuck. I don't
Yeah,
know.
have you ever
So
seen
is
a
a
grizzly
bear. And
I
bears
know-
have nail or claws,
Ah,
I mean, I was thinking like,
and they can climb. Well, gorilla can climb a tree, but I mean,
yeah, but
huh?
gorillas can learn sign language.
Yeah, but it's a fucking bear.
A bear
All right,
All right, well, which would you rather fight, a grizzly bear or a gorilla?
okay, that
Because
yeah.
that's the answer to your question.
No, I said put
I
your
know.
mind into a body.
That was
Oh,
my-
but whichever one you choose. Is
what kind of
definitely
bear? I
tougher.
think that depends. It's
If
just
it's
a
a
would you
panda bear,
rather.
I'm out.
koala. Koala bear.
Gum nut.
Hey, you can't say that.
Come
That's
now.
not
Oh,
socially acceptable.
Sorry, Tim, put that out.
Tim, cut that. B, what you got?
All right, another really crappy one. All right, you know the little. Okay, so would you rather eat a worm or a grub? You know the grubs that are like Japanese
worm.
beetles.
Worm.
Grub, baby.
What's wrong with you?
Like
Down the
What
gullet. I
happened
don't
to you
have
as
to,
a child?
you don't have to chew, right? You don't have to chew.
You just have to eat it.
Okay, yeah. Grub. Smaller.
Grub.
Worm.
Definitely the worm. Go down. This
What
slide
was
down.
Charlie's name in Always Sunny?
Dirt grub.
Exactly.
Way to
yeah,
go,
grubs are
Dirk
disgusting.
Grub.
Craig, what you got?
Shout out, Joe. My last one. Would you rather have $1 million sports car or $1 million?
$1 million. That's
$1 million.
what?
Yeah,
What is-
$1
that's
million?
easy, man.
100% $1 million.
Go drive a sports car around here. You're gonna hit a pothole,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna be winter.
I
Say
can always buy a
around here.
Miata. That's a sports car.
That's gonna be a winner. 100%.
I just sell it.
All right, I got a doozy for you. Would you rather wear boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Briefs.
Boxers.
Well, that settles that.
What do you do?
Bong.
Oh, okay, that wasn't okay. I don't know. I guess we didn't collectively say let's do things about fingernails and toenails, but my next one is: would you rather lose a toenail every time you coughed, or lose your hearing for an hour after you sneeze?
Like,
Like you sneeze and all of a sudden
Easy
you're
there,
deaf for an
Satan.
hour.
Easy.
Or you cough.
Man,
Now what happens when
you
you
got
get
the flu?
sick?
You're screwed.
I'd rather just lose the toenails. Like, screw it.
Lose a toenail every time you cough.
I don't like. Not
But like,
hearing
imagine
myself.
you're like you have a coughing fit. Next thing you know, you have no fucking toenails.
My uncle has no toenails.
Okay, and
Pierce
His
no
feet look
eyebrows.
real
did
weird.
he lose it from?
I
Coughing?
have eyebrows. You just can't see them.
They
They go to another school.
Yeah, dude, lose it from coughing.
So I would say I would lose my hearing for an
I-
hour after sneezing.
Fuck, I don't want to hear anyone shit anyway. I'll lose my hearing.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll go back. I'm gonna take. I here. Yeah, screw it.
Greg.
People don't have to.
Probably. Ooh, this is a good one.
on the fence.
I'd rather go right down the middle and not ruffle any feathers.
I'm gonna go with hearing.
Okay.
Stick your finger
B?
in my
All
butt.
right, I've actually got a decent one. This last one. All right, would you rather lose the ability to speak or the ability to read? I mean, I can't.
I
read,
can't
so
fucking read
I
anyway.
can't read
Anyways.
anyway. So like,
Yeah,
You guys
reading.
heard podcast 0.5. I can't read.
Probably read.
Ability to speak like when all the time.
yeah, like
The
you know how
engine-
we are right now. Talking.
Engines couldn't read and they did fine.
I know, right?
Can't
I-
say that.
I say
I'm
read.
gonna put a mature podcast.
I'm sorry, cut you.
ADK Voice
That's right.
after dark.
Craig,
what
do you have a last one?
Yeah, I already read it.
Oh, yeah,
off.
that's
Yeah,
all of
that's
them.
all. That's all. That's all.
We're
All
done.
So, no, we're not done.
Oh,
Let's go to tips. Who wants to start with a tip?
not me.
B, why don't you
I'll
start?
All right, this is like just take it right from Murphy's Law. It's my favorite one. You will always find something the last place you look. Think about that.
Because you stopped looking after.
Because you
find
stop
it.
looking. Yeah, you stop looking at your phone like,
I like that.
oh, my keys. Could they be on the table or would they be like in the crevice of some weird thing? Well, they're probably not gonna be in the crevice, so I'm just gonna. I don't want
crevasse.
you to look there. And you look down while you're eating, Fritos on the couch. Crap, they're right in the crevice, aren't they? So
Mine is if it looks stupid and it works, it's not stupid.
Mine is don't make toast in the bathtub.
here's the
And-
Drano, here's the radio, and yeah.
Mine is don't sweat the small stuff because there's a lot more things to sweat like the big stuff.
I like it. I like it.
All right.
So we just want to thank everyone for listening. This is episode 3, the Memorial Day special. Tim, why don't you let everyone know the platforms they can listen to our podcast?
All right, guys. So if you enjoyed the podcast, share it with a friend, share it with a family member. You can listen to us on Spotify if you just search ADK Voice, iTunes podcast, ADK Voice. I'm going to be uploading on YouTube, ADK Voice. Also, all of our social media is
Did you say
essentially
iTunes?
iTunes. If you search it on iTunes, you can find it.
Yeah.
You might have to have the podcast app, though, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it already
I think if
comes
you
with-
look it up on regular iTunes, it pops up.
yeah,
too.
Oh,
I think
okay.
so, too.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then all of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's all some version of ADK Voice.
Reach out to us if you want to be a guest. If you have any questions, if you have tips, if there's a topic you really want to hear us discuss and bicker about. Craig can always be the negative, Tim can be the pro, and I'll just fight either of them for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Like to thank Biagio for coming on the
Captain
show.
America,
Hey,
that is
thanks-
America's
Thanks
ass.
for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's a
We
real-
out ya.
These
All
are the
right.
boys from ADK Voice, and we will see you next time.
And it's just a pinata stick coming right from my fucking face.